I mean, look, usually on these kind of programmes, the two people are very opposed in what they're saying. I actually agree with pretty much everything that Ian said. If it was Brexit, it'd be quite a different scenario. But
it's nice not to be talking about Brexit.
The point he makes that it's all this stuff is about abuse of power. Somewhere like, I mean, as an MP, I've been an MP since the year before last. I'm 45 years old now. I wouldn't get that now because I'm of a certain age. I'm in a position of relative power, even though I'm a sort of opposition backbench MP.
So you won't experience this sort of harassment?
I don't think it will happen to me now. And also this sort of idea that Westminster is pestminster and it's swirling around with all these sort of people, I think that's not true. 650 of us, most people are dedicated to public service. However, you do have this imbalance of power. And half a lifetime ago, I experienced this when I was a postgraduate student in Strasbourg. I think a lot of things about this story are illustrative of how this goes on, because I was sort of volunteering there in Strasbourg. The Parliament comes there for a week of every month. So I was mainly a student, but for the week that the Parliament was there, I would volunteer for an MEP. And I did find myself, I was a bit startled. One evening, I won't go into the entire circumstances of it, but yeah, there was this MEP whose wandering hands somehow sort of found their way into my lap, kind of thing, which really surprised me. But, you know, all these things about Westminster, we have these 650 MPs, loads of people, for both of us, want to work for us all the time for free, which is what I was doing in those days. Because of the sort of pay structures of our parliamentary staff, we either have very young people or MPs. There isn't really any middle ground particularly. There's a lot of people in their 20s who are sort of desperate for that first leg up,
often working for
that
free.
First foothold. Yeah, and so you could see how with certain people, not all of them, this sort of thing could be exploited.
So why didn't you report it there? Was it because you didn't feel it was that serious? Was it because you didn't know who to talk to?
I mean, this was 1995, and it was in a different country as well, to boot. And, you know, I was a bit shocked and surprised.
But if a crime, other crimes,
I mean,
or other offences be committed,
yeah, I mean, I don't really want to make this interview about what happened to me.
No,
what
but
is
I think it's interesting because it's a specific...
helping people going forwards. You know what I mean? One thing I do agree with Michael Fallon as well is times are different now to 10 or 15 years ago. He said this is 22 years ago. There wasn't social media. You know, maybe this same...
But one of the ways we can help to move forward is to understand why people didn't feel confident to speak up
so why people don't feel confident now as well is because they're in a sort of position of impotence. They think they'll never work again. Their career will be finished. That kind of thing. I mean, I just thought this is an annoying man. I sort of let him know I don't want this to continue. And but other people, it sort of depends also. I think these things should be, I hate the word victim, but victim-led. So it's what that person feels is right.